Continuing our discussion on ways to certify identity, biometrics stands out as a significant advancement. Biometrics involves using unique physical characteristics such as facial recognition, fingerprints, voice patterns, and even the unique patterns in our eyes. These characteristics are incredibly difficult to replicate, making biometrics a robust method for securing our identities. You've likely encountered these technologies on devices like smartphones, where unlocking your phone with your face or fingerprint has become commonplace. Moving forward, let's emphasize the importance of security codes. Security codes, often known as two-factor authentication, 2FA, or multi-factor authentication, MFA, add an essential layer of security beyond just your password. Without this second factor, such as a code sent to your phone or generated by an authentication app, someone who gains access to your password could potentially infiltrate your online accounts. There are two primary ways an attacker might obtain your password: phishing and brute force attacks. Phishing involves deceptive attempts to trick you into revealing your password, often through fraudulent emails or websites. On the other hand, brute force attacks involve systematically trying every possible combination of characters until the correct one is found. To understand brute force attacks, consider the speed at which modern computers operate. They can perform billions of calculations per second, making it relatively easy to crack simple passwords. For instance, a 4-digit PIN, which has 10,000 possible combinations, can be cracked in milliseconds. As we increase the length and complexity of a password, the number of possible combinations grows exponentially, making it much harder for computers to guess. For example, a password with just 3 lowercase letters has 17,576 possible combinations. This might seem like a lot, but it's trivial for a computer. However, an 8-character password that includes uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols has an astronomically higher number of possible combinations, making it much more secure. Tips for creating safe passwords. Use a mix of characters. Tip: incorporate uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special symbols. Example: instead of using password 123, consider something like P@SSW0RD23. Detail: this approach takes advantage of the full range of characters available on your keyboard, making the password much harder to crack. Each additional character type exponentially increases the number of possible combinations. Avoid common words and phrases. Tip: steer clear of using easily guessable information such as password 123456 or QWERTY. Example: avoid simple, predictable passwords. For instance, replace football 2024 with something less obvious like SP0RTS for F at $. Detail: common words and simple sequences are the first things hackers try when attempting to breach accounts. Using unpredictable and complex combinations significantly enhances security. Increase length and complexity. Tip: aim for passwords that are at least 12 characters long. The longer the password, the harder it is to crack. Example: a passphrase like horses jump high at 34 is both long and complex. Detail: length is a critical factor in password strength. A longer password has more possible permutations, making it exponentially more difficult for attackers to guess. Use unique passwords for different accounts. Tip: never reuse passwords across multiple accounts. If one account is compromised, others could be at risk. Example: use different passwords such as banking #secure1, email #priv@te2, and social #medi@3. Detail: unique passwords ensure that a breach in one account doesn't lead to a domino effect where multiple accounts are compromised. Regularly update your passwords. Tip: change your passwords every 3 months to mitigate the risk of long-term exposure. Example: set reminders to update passwords quarterly, like in January, April, July, and October. Regular updates reduce the window of opportunity for hackers to exploit compromised passwords. It also forces you to reassess and strengthen your passwords periodically. Utilize password managers. Tip: password managers can generate and store complex passwords for you. They secure your passwords behind a master password, simplifying management. Example: popular password managers include LastPass, 1Password, and Bitwarden. Password managers create and remember highly complex passwords for you, allowing you to use unique passwords for every service without the need to memorize each one. They also often include features to alert you to weak or reused passwords. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. Tip: adding an extra layer of security makes it significantly harder for attackers to gain access, even if they know your password. Example: use authentication apps like Google Authenticator or Authy for generating 2FA codes. 2FA provides an additional verification step, usually involving something you have, like your smartphone, in addition to something you know, your password. This greatly enhances security as it requires two different forms of identification. Let's watch a video that offers suggestions for creating strong passwords. This provides useful tips, allowing you to develop a method that works for you. A strong password should avoid using personal information such as birthdays or common words. Instead, use a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols to enhance its strength. Remember, no official process will ever ask for your password directly. This information serves as a reminder to never share your password with anyone and to avoid saving passwords in your browser. If someone gains access to your computer, they could retrieve stored passwords, especially on laptops that are more prone to theft. 3 critical points to ensure you have very strong passwords are your email, both corporate and personal, your computer, especially laptops, and your mobile devices. If someone gains access to your email, they can access all your connected services and contacts, potentially causing widespread issues. Lastly, consider using password managers. These programs can securely store your passwords and generate strong, unique passwords for each service. They unlock with a master password, so you only need to remember one password. This method ensures your accounts remain secure while making it easier to manage your passwords. In conclusion, always strive to create strong, unique passwords for each service, change them regularly, and never share them with others. Use password managers to help manage your passwords securely. By following these practices, you can significantly enhance your online security and protect your personal information from potential threats.